I need you to start sending me like directly the transactions you do.
Yeah, we'll
just send it through like email for now, because there's some things going on with the site and whatnot.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
we're running into a problem.
Okay.
We're getting gamed, where the people that we're buying from are now just buying all the bet up themselves and then selling us at the bulk prices.
Good.
Well, yes and no, right?
That's actually exactly by design. Think about it this way. It is by design as a fundamentally. Think of it like this, right? You have account managers, right? Or the top of the tree. If you are getting less calls and bigger transactions, you are letting everyone else do the grinding.
True. That only affects the people that are, I guess, opposed to it, but it also eats into the profits of both us and the brokers, right? Because if I'm, instead of me buying everything at 290, which is a lower price point for us, they're buying it at 290. They're then selling it. They're making 40 per.
Yeah.
For just being a broker for a broker, right?
No. Well, not exactly. So
essentially, brokers would make more money if they did what everyone's doing. If we just privately bought at 290 and then sold to the company at 330,
that is
we'd make way more money.
It depends how much you want to grind, right? So,
Liam Law has done like 6 to 7 million in a week.
Okay, I believe it. So think about it this way:
we could bring him under us, but he'd make way less money working under us.
Wait, why? Why would he make less?
Because he's making more than 1 to 2%.
You haven't even made money yet.
I know, but based on what we talked about, right? We talked about 1 to 2%.
No. Listen. Every one of you guys is gonna make money. I just haven't run the numbers yet.
Yeah. No. I know we're gonna make money.
When I say 1 to 2%, that's literally me saying like, oh my God, we're like going through millions of dollars. So I'm under percenting right now. So you guys aren't thinking you're gonna get a $10 million paycheck. Right?
Well, I think the thing is, I think 1 to 2% is fine. Like it makes sense because more than that, like it's just not going to be like long term is just going to be bleeding money.
I don't know the percentage just because I haven't looked at the numbers.
Yeah.
So I mean, is 1 or 2% enough? I don't know. Like it depends on, when I take all the numbers and kind of see like what everyone's throughput was, and then be like, okay, at 3%, it comes out to this. That's a healthy amount, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously our economy is different than, everywhere else. So I have to be like, if I look at to give you an idea, right? Like when I had to do payments for my office, I looked at how much the payout would be and whether or not I would base the percentage on what would be healthy for the city, right? Because
no, that's
if
what
I just picked a number and it ended up being like some cracked amount, that's not good.
I know, like,
right?
like initially, like the first couple of days we did 10%. Like that wouldn't have been doable at all.
Yeah,
it would have been nice. Trust me,
I
would have been okay with that, but it definitely would not have been long term.
Exactly. But I will say that yes, definitely, if someone is out there like grinding out multiple transactions, yeah, they have the propensity of making more money. Right. And that's because they're doing the grind. Right. They're out there probably, having to make multiple phone calls, et cetera. And whereas you do one transaction and you get it all. Right. So can they make more? Yeah. But it's the same concept that like, if there was like 10 people and they could all be doing sanitation. Right. And they could all be like, well, individually, I make more money if I get all the garbage bags, get the stuff, and sell it directly, right? But
it's a
if
little
you're the garbage,
he's essentially a broker. He's not like he's not running Sandy. He's still being a broker. It would be like if I kept buying all the bet from people at 290, but then when I did a payout from you, I waited until I had 3,000. That's what's happening.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I see what you're saying. So there's a couple factors. Number one is our buy price is going to start being variable. It's not at the moment. It will be. So we are going to, right now it's 290, 320, right?
Yeah.
But that's going to be variable. The price may crash to 250. It might go up. And those things are not connected to the world market yet, if you get my meaning.
Yeah. I gotcha.
So as someone that has direct access to those prices, you have that ability to be you know, a little bit more you know, you see what's happening as opposed to others who will not. I think there's a second factor at play, and this is more of like we had to I tried to get this operation like up and going real quick, is there wasn't a good enough of an orientation where I had to individually pull individual brokers aside and be like, don't buy 2,000 for 320. You can't do that, right? You should be trying to buy it for less, right? But this is like like we have the actual buy price and then the bulk price, but you shouldn't be out there advertising that either. Do you know what I mean?
Gotcha,
and I think a lot of people made the mistake of being like, just freely being like, thinking short term and just being like, oh, get me 3,000, I'll give you 320. That's not how you should be doing it, right? It's that you know that the 320 is your top bar. So try to get it at 290 for you know, bits and pieces. Try to get a 5,000 bet for this amount and ignore anyone else like Bruce, for example, who's matching our numbers. Let him fucking match it. Who gives a fuck, right? At the end of the day, he's the one who's going to be screwed because these car parts we're going to start shipping them this Thursday, and he's going to be losing money, right? Because we're going to be selling under, right? So,
fair enough.
I hope that I just wanted to explain things, but
ultimately, at the end of the day, like I don't necessarily care about like the percent and whatnot. I just want to make sure that it's
people don't abuse it or something.
Yeah. Because like, look, I fucking love Liam, but it's
So what is he doing exactly? He's just buying up a bunch and then selling it in bulk.
Either his group is funneling to him, or as well as he's buying at like 290 or lower and then selling to us at bulk. Which like it is completely fine, but I wouldn't like if we had brokers doing that would be slimy, right? Like if I was buying everything at 290, but then when I put it through as a payment, I'm like, all right, I got 3,000 at like 320 for it. You know what I mean?
I think the 290 to 320 that maybe that window is going to get smaller. We might do like gradual amounts or something.
Yeah.
But there's another aspect too, is that the 290 versus 320 was for the amassment of the short-term amassment of bet, because without saying too much, and for two reasons. One is, you know, I don't know how long it's going to take, and number two, you know, it might not happen. But that window is like this is a short-term juice, and this is just the first part of my vision for, you know, what it is we're going to do, and so, but right now the short-term is generally amassing the bet.
That makes sense.
And to give you an idea, and you can have your mind like sort of like cook on this a bit, but keep this to yourself, is that when you have a lot of a crypto, right, now all of a sudden there's a lot of doors that start to open up, and that includes other kinds of shopping, right? That also includes your own coin. And that's sort of where I'm trying to bring things. So if that means a couple people get a couple dollars in their pocket, I mean, it's whatever, right? So
I think I think he's just a major outlier, because it's not like there's a bunch of people doing what he's doing, but he's coming to us with like, all right, I got another 10K. All right, I got 15K. All right, I'm close to 20K bet. You know what I mean?
Got
so like one person.
I need to also talk to Charles, because he did like 330 transactions, and that's 320 is the hard limit. Like if someone, they should, I don't We shouldn't be so desperate that we're beating our own price. That's cooked.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
So because I did a 330 as well, because Charles didn't have enough money, and he told I was told to come down, but he said it was approved.
No, Charles sometimes gets a little cooked, and
okay.
But
I can eat that 10 if I need to. I don't care. But.
Yeah. 320 is a hard line. I think I did that. Like, I think it might have been a one-time approved one. I think it was like 10,000 bet.
Gotcha.
So because I recognize how people are in the city. Everyone's a fucking, what's the word? They like minimums and they like maximums quite a bit. So, you know, once they see a number, they're going to want a little bit more, but we have to be comfortable with telling them to eat a dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So, okay, easy.
Right.
I appreciate
Sounds
that.
good.
If anything else pops up along these lines, please do keep me appraised so I can,
100%.
rejig.
100%.
All right, easy.
All right.
All right, you take care. Bye. Yeah, exactly. That's not a bad thing. If someone is going and getting, like, if someone is doing the work for us by accruing a lot of bet and selling it in mass, so be it. Let them make some money. You know what I mean? That's exactly what we want to see happening. I will say that one thing that I need to keep a hold on and reestablish, because I said this independently, but I'm gonna have to underline this, is that we should not be beating our own prices. If some other person is willing to buy bet at 330 and in a lot of like 10,000, so let them do it. We tell them no. We have buying power. And we also have liquidity. So we don't need to beat our own prices. It doesn't make any sense. So we also, I think, unfortunately,